Hello there, and welcome to our Coffee Break Conversations, where we're highlighting in this season some of the can-dos in the midst of this pandemic that we find ourselves in. And we're excited by the ways in which people are reimagining some of the ministry among young people and children that they're doing at the minute. We're really glad to have Claire with us today. Hi, Claire. Would you like to introduce yourself, Claire, and tell us who you are and where you're from?
My name is Claire. I live in Belfast and I am the youth and children's pastor in Cornley Methodist, going on to my 8th year there. Long time.
A long time. I can't imagine that you've been there 8 years. It's like Claire, I have to say. Claire, you're doing lots of stuff at the minute, but a couple of things we want to talk about today are what you've been doing with GB and what you've been doing in schools in the midst of this and how that's been reimagined. So what are you doing? And you can pick whichever one you want first. What are you doing in this season that looks a little bit different than it did before lockdown?
Well, in GB, what we are doing is our whole thing last year was teaching the girls Makaton, which I'm so passionate about, like special needs. So we have been teaching them online, doing this video every week, showing them their Makaton sign and hoping that they would just learn from that. Our hope was that GB would start back in September, but of course it hasn't. And it won't be starting back till at least January. So we didn't want to just keep doing videos online. Like, this is a great tool to learn from, but we actually thought the best thing to do was to send them out a pack. So each of our Tiny Tots and Explorers, so that's the younger age group, they all got a pack with craft inside it, a story, and that will do us for 11 weeks, which is amazing that that can be like all of it done. It's thanks to one of the amazing volunteers in our GB. And we have just been putting out videos talking about our Christian heroes, and just showing the girls that actually your Christian hero doesn't need to be like some massive holy person. Like, it can actually just be the everyday, because we've been looking at heroes and how our heroes are our NHS workers, and we were doing that last year. So it's really cool to be able to actually continue that on this year and have like a flow working. So GB, definitely it's harder online, but it's definitely you're able to do stuff and to be able to work with the girls and all their little faces receiving a parcel. Like, they love getting things in the post. So yeah, that's the GB side of things.
Where do you do that? So are your videos on a Facebook page, or do you put them into a WhatsApp group with parents, or what way do you actually do that?
So we have a Cornley Methodist GB page just specifically for our girls, and then if there's any other information, our captain will send it out to everybody.
Okay, brilliant. It's just good because people are probably going, oh, I'd love to do that, but where would I put it? What would I do with it? And do you get any feedback from the girls? Like, does stuff come back through the Facebook page, or?
Yeah, so we did my Lighthouse Competition where we did like the whole big video together, and it was lovely to see the girls dancing along to the songs we would have done every Thursday. And we did a baking competition, and it was lovely to see the stuff that they like made. I couldn't make half of it. It was amazing. Like, got potato bread and everything. So it's just really good. Like, the parents are really getting involved, and I think that's so important, because not only are you ministering to the children, but actually the parents are getting that, and you just don't know what God's going to do with that.
That's fab. That's fab. And as you say, dropping a pack to a child's door. First of all, GB leaders turned up at their door. How exciting! Sure, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, there's something really significant in that, isn't there? And what about schools, Claire? How has that shifted?
So I am very passionate about school ministry. I think it's so important. And at the very start of all of this, we emailed every single school to just say, look, we are praying for you, but how can we pray? Not just we're praying, but how can we actually pray for you? And we offered assemblies, and quite a few schools came back. So last year I did 52 assemblies all in all in the year.
Oh my God.
I've done 20 assemblies, and it is only October. So goodness only knows how many assemblies we'll be doing by then. But there's a fabulous person from my church, and she has went around to all of the schools that we are connected to and given them a big box of chocolates and just a little note to say, we know this is tough, but we are praying for you. And I think it's just little things like that. Like, it doesn't need to be a massive thing, just little tiny things. Ask what they need, and they will give you it. That's what I think.
That's brilliant. And so you've recorded assemblies and the schools. Amazing.
Yeah.
And you were telling me just before we went on today that you had to watch yourself this week in a school assembly. Is that right?
Yes. So I'm working in a school at the moment, and I had to sit at the very back of the class and colour in a worksheet because I just felt so awkward watching it. But it's actually so cool because we're able to connect with schools even in Belfast. So my sister's a teacher, and we've got to connect with her school and give them worksheets as well with the assemblies. And it's just things you find on Google. But it's amazing because they go home again to the families.
Yeah.
So you just don't know what seeds you're planting there.
Yeah, fabulous. And the school knows you care. And why did you think it was important, the schools and the GB and keeping up that connection? Why was that important at this time for you?
I think right now more than ever, children need structure and they need support and they need normality, even though it isn't normal. So me coming into their classroom on a video screen is not normal, but it is the new normal, and it's kind of back to their assemblies.
Yeah.
And just even with working in the school, like they're so excited to get to assembly. They're so excited to see a different person up on the screen. It wasn't good for the class I was in, but like they're excited to see different people. And I actually think our job as a church is to help support and equip the schools, just to tell them that we are there for you and we will help in whatever way we can.
Yeah, and I suppose that same goes for GB, that keeping that connection up over this time, because it's a long time to not be seeing your girls and doing, and the fear out there could be for some people, will the girls come back?
Massive fear for us as well. So actually by keeping that link, it shows that we care about them, and it's not just an every Thursday thing.
Yeah.
Like, because we really do love our girls, and I know that anyone who is a GB leader will say that they love their girls, and it's just so important to keep that link there with them and their parents.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Claire. And what are you learning, or what might be some of the tips that you give other people if they were thinking of doing any of this stuff that you've been doing?
I am learning that nothing is impossible. Like, you just got to do it, and you just have to get over yourself. I hate recording myself. Like, I'm a one-take wonder. If it's not good the first time, it's just getting sent anyway.
Yeah.
But I've also really learned that volunteers are incredible. So we have a lady in our church who's like, we can do Follow the Star, but we are not just going to do it for the schools that would normally come. Let's do it for every school in Bangor. Let's make craft packs for them. Let's record this. And I'm like, what? How can we do that? But we can. Like, we can do it. So let's do it.
Yeah, and it is amazing, and actually it's amazing people's willingness and when they really believe in something and they really care about the children and the schools that they're serving. It's just fab. So like, there's loads of things in there that are probably encouraging you, but what's encouraging you most in this hard season that we're in?
I think the fact that I'm able to talk about God to so many schools, so many boys and girls, is just incredible. And even at the start of lockdown, assemblies were getting sent home to families, and that just really encouraged me as well. Now, it really scared me. Like, I'm not saying that I love doing them, but it's so encouraging to know that other people, like, this is going further. Like, God's message is being spread more than what it would have before. And actually, my last assembly that I did in the school that I worked in, like, loads of people came up crying, and they were like, that was really important to know that God cares for us as well. And I was like, oh my goodness. So you don't know the impact you're having on the staff either.
Yeah, absolutely. And Claire, what could we be praying for you for the work that you're doing with your volunteers, etc., over the next little while?
We have the Tom team with us on a Sunday night now, which is amazing. I just love prayer for them, just as they work around what they're doing, and for the young people that I work with, just so they could really get the most of it. So we are now currently in a 2-week lockdown again, and that is unfortunate, but you know what? God's still going to move. He can't be put in a box. So just prayer that God would just move in the lives of the Tom team and the young people that I get to work with.
That's brilliant. Claire, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas and your heart with us today. And we hope that what you've shared might spark some imagination or some ideas for other people. Thank you. And we'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.